Have you ever caught yourself thinking, if only they noticed me, or what if they don't like it? Maybe I'm not good enough. Be honest. It's like no matter what you do, you're always wanting someone else to say, wow, you're amazing, before you believe in yourself. But let me ask you something. What if you're the one giving yourself the approval, or you're the one giving yourself that approval instead of waiting for others? Today we'll be talking about validation, what it means, why chasing from others can actually hurt you, and how to start validating yourself. Trust me, this is a conversation we all need. Let's start with the basics. What is validation? Validation is when you or someone else recognizes your thoughts, recognizes your feelings or your achievements. So it's like that little voice that says, hey, you are doing okay, or your feelings matter, right? That's like you're trying to get someone else to tell you, to recognize your good, your feelings, recognize your thoughts, recognize your achievements, right? So, but here's the thing: if there are two types of validation. We have the external validation and the internal and the self-validation. So that this external validation is when someone else gives you the assurance that, or maybe like your friend gives you the assurance that, wow, you're so smart, or when you post a picture and it gets tons of likes. That's like external validation. But for self-validation is when you yourself tell yourself that, hey, I did a great job, or it's okay to feel that way. Like you are telling yourself, you are trying to validate what you've done, your thoughts, your feelings, your achievements by yourself. So that's self-validation. Now I want you to think about this for a second. How much of confidence, or how much of your confidence depends on what others say or what others think about you? Be honest with yourself. So I've asked myself this question too, and it's eye-opening. You know what? I get it. External validation feels amazing, right? Someone notices your hard work, and compliments you about it, or even agrees with you. It's a dopamine rush. That's okay. But here's the problem. The problem on relying on external validation. One, it's never enough. Think about it. When was the last time one compliment stuck in you for more than a day? Like somebody says, wow, you are beautiful, and it enters your head for more than a day. Doesn't even take time. Two, it makes us dependent. Every time we want to make a decision, we want to be 100% sure about it. Just like you think of something like, oh, someone has to approve it. Like you want to make sure it's perfect, which can never be. Number three, it takes away your power to decide your worth, your power to give control of your happiness. You give others the control of your happiness, right? You don't think you don't think yourself worthy about that thing you are doing. You don't think yourself worthy about something you've achieved. You expect somebody to say, oh wow, you have done great. You don't have the power to control your happiness, because you won't be happy until someone tells you, wow, that's nice. So why learning to validate yourself is so important, because at the end of the day, the most powerful approval, or the most powerful kudos comes from you, not them. Let's flip this. Imagine this. You don't need someone or anyone else to tell you that you are good enough, and because you know that you are, right? So now that's what is self-validation. That's what self-validation feels like. You know that you are good enough, and you don't need someone else to tell you that you are good enough. And this is what happens when we validate ourselves. We become more confident. We stop comparing ourselves to others, stop comparing ourselves to everyone else, and we also make decisions that feels right to us, not feels right to other people. You don't make decisions that you think, oh, people will like it. You take a decision that you are happy with, right? So now let's get practical, because I know we've all heard the advice, love yourself, but no one actually tells us how to love ourselves. So I'm going to share some ways we can start practicing self-validation together. Some ways we can start practicing self-love, self-validation. Yes, it's validation with how. So we start practicing self-validation. Okay, so let's make it real. I'm going to share some things I've tried, and I want you to try them too. So one, I want you to try talking to yourself as a friend. So think about how you talk to a friend, how you try to comfort a friend if the friend is feeling down. Now talk to yourself like that. Talk to yourself the same way. Instead of saying I'm a failure, try saying I made a mistake, but I'm still learning and it's okay. It will get better. That makes a lot of difference if you trust yourself and like it's okay, things like that happen. Like the way you talk to your friend, it's okay, things like that happen, everything will be fine, okay? Just talk to yourself like that. Once you make a mistake, feel okay, it's a mistake, I'm learning from it, right? Nothing's going to happen. At least I've learned and I won't make that mistake again. So that's like, just talk to yourself like you're going to comfort a friend. 2, try to celebrate small wins. You don't need to wait for something huge to happen to celebrate, okay? Like you got out of bed today and like early today you finished the tasks. Show yourself, like acknowledge yourself. It shows that you are worthy, like you're able to do something. Just acknowledge yourself. Like myself, I would just, once I like if something small happens, everybody knows me at home. I'm like, yay, I did that thing, and I was just like up and down just with my family and just like stop, and everybody must know at home, just at home, and just like make myself happy. Everybody knows I'm happy, I've done something. Once I'm like very excited, even if I don't, you don't need to get yourself the entire thing, you don't need to buy yourself anything. Just smile or just write to yourself, or write to maybe write a letter to your future self, something like that, just for that happy moment, right? Something like that. And 3 would, next one is going to be journal your feelings. Whether you're happy, whether you're sad, just put it down. Journaling is a very powerful tool. When we feel overwhelmed, just grab a notebook, write down your feelings, write down your thoughts. Overwhelmed, happy, sad, just put it down. I know not everybody journal consistently. I'm still struggling with that, but it's just from time to time, if you feel kind of some sort of like powerful emotions, just write it down and relieve that emotion from yourself. Number 4 is to set boundaries. I want to ask a question. How many times have you said yes to something you don't actually want to do? Many times, just to please others, we just say yes, ma, I'll do it, but in our mind we say, oh, this is too much, right? So I want to start telling yourself to say, just start saying no to things you can't start, things that takes your time, that takes your energy and does not give you anything, no return on investment, right? Say no to it. It just takes your time, just takes your energy, there's nothing it's giving back to you. No, learn to say no to that kind of thing. Number 5 is to start using affirmations. I know affirmation may feel cheesy, but if we try to do it from time to time, like consistently, not from time to time, consistently, every day, every week, if you see it every time, say to yourself, I'm worthy of respect and love, and things like that, it's going to work. It works, okay? It does manifest some things. So I'd like to ask you, which exact one would you like to try? Which of the tips would you try first? I'd like to know in the comments. Okay, so I want you to remember this. You don't need to be perfect to be enough. You don't need to wait for someone else's approval to feel good about yourself. You're already enough. You are going to learn, definitely. You're going to make mistakes and learn from mistakes, and that's alright. So I want you to make a promise to yourself, or to ourselves. Let's promise ourselves. Next time we seek validation from others, we are going to pause and ask ourselves, what do I think about this? Ask yourself what exactly you think about something before you ask someone about it. And let your own thought about that thing be enough, okay, for you. Don't think about, just if in case you just, maybe you put on a clothes and you're like, is this clothes going to be nice? Is it nice? Before you ask someone, just check yourself in the mirror. Is it okay? Am I fine with this? Am I comfortable? If you are, my dear, be going. You can't go with it. So since we are in this together, let's go and let's keep working on it. I believe in you, and I believe in myself, and I know you should believe in yourself as well. So thank you so much for watching. If this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, to comment, say your feelings, say your thoughts, maybe strategies you use as well, and subscribe. This will help me reach more amazing people like you. And tell me in the comments, how do you, or how you validate yourself. Until next time, remember that you are enough, and bye bye.